Hey everyone, welcome to Digital Media Pro TV. In this series, we're going to be taking a look at the Canon PowerShot SX50 HS. Now, this is a brand new camera. It was just released a few days ago in the US, and it has a lot of really awesome features. Now, this is like 500 bucks with tax, so if you're going to be spending that kind of money on a camera, it's definitely worth the time to watch some really in-depth reviews, and that is our mission, to provide you guys with the most in-depth and accurate reviews and demonstrations possible. In this video series, we're going to be taking a look at the Canon PowerShot SX50 HS. Now, this is a really awesome little camera. It has a ton of really cool features, and we're going to be going over them. This is going to be a multi-part video. We're going to really go in depth and check out every single feature and function of this camera. So in this video, we're going to go over the design, ergonomics, and some of the functions and features. Right now we're just going to take a close-up look at the camera. It has a very nice lens on it. One of the really awesome features is that it has actually a threaded lens front and a lip on the outside, so that you can not only put a lens filter on here, either a polarizing filter or a UV filter to just protect the lens from getting scratched. You can also put a lens shroud on here that will keep stray light from entering the lens and giving you a washed out look. So that's really awesome right there. That solves a lot of problems. And it has ultrasonic image stabilization, which is basically a very quiet motor drive system, so that you're not going to hear the camera zooming back and forth and stabilizing itself. In a lot of videos of high zoom cameras, when you zoom, you'll hear the motor drive system like grinding almost, and that kind of ruins the audio of the video. Now, the actual zoom function is very quiet, but if you don't use the switch properly, it can kind of make a clicking noise, and you might notice that in a lot of the zoom test videos online, because people tend to rock the switch and just let it snap back to the home position, so you get a little click. But if you just gently go back to the default position and then let go, it's not going to make that noise. So that's really good. Overall, the button layout is quite nice. It's pretty simple. They don't have anything that you don't really need. When you're holding it, it's feels good in your hand. You're not going to be pressing buttons accidentally. They press nice and firm. They have a good click when you press them. And overall, it's just a really nice layout. Up here you have some buttons for zoom framing. Essentially, when you press that, it shows a little box on the screen where you're going to be zooming into, so that you can line things up and get them centered nicely. Also has a flash hot shoe mount, very important for digital photography if you have an external flash. Also, you can get a flash mount which has a little screw, so you can put on accessories like a external audio recorder for like studio quality surround sound. It does have stereo microphones on board, and the audio is very crisp, very clear. The encoding quality is really good, so it's not going to sound muffled. Right now we're recording on a web camera, and the audio encoding quality is really not that fantastic. Also has the built-in flash, which can pop up like that. So if you have an external flash too, it's not going to interfere with each other. Now down here we have the battery compartment. The only thing I really don't like about the design of this camera is that it does not use AA batteries. It uses this little proprietary Canon battery. Now this has 920 milliamp hours. It gives decent battery life, but for the semi-pro photographer or videographer, if you're going to be doing a lot of high-definition videos, high-definition video tends to chew through battery life a lot faster than anything else. It would have been nice to have AA batteries with a more than 900 milliamp hour capacity. You can get AA rechargeables that have 2500 milliamp hour capacity. So it would be nice, since this is a high-end DSLR-like camera, if somebody built a battery grip so that it extends the grip and also allows more battery capacity. That would be a really nice feature. One feature that it does have that is really good is that in this little digital output port, you have HDMI, you have USB, and then you have an input for a shutter button, so that you can have a cable going to your shutter button to control the camera, so that you're not directly touching the camera when you take a picture. And that can be really handy, because even with a good tripod, when you press that button, it's going to wiggle the camera a little bit, and that can either shift your focus or the direction the camera is pointed. So that's really useful. Up here you have your basic dial that's on pretty much most high-end point-and-shoots. You have your on button, you have flash button, a sharing button. Now the viewfinder on this is quite nice. It has 200,000 pixel internal viewfinder, and the screen does fold out, and you can adjust the angle, which is extremely useful for if you're taking video up in the air and you want to be able to look at the screen, or if you're in front of the camera and just want to be able to see yourself and make sure that you keep yourself in frame. Also, it completely turns around and folds up so that you have a little bit of protection, and then you can better use the eyepiece. Now the actual buttons down here, you have a wheel that allows you to select and scroll through various functions. It also allows you to manually focus in certain settings. You have your ISO button, manual focus button, timing button, exposure, and then you have your function set button, display and menu. Display can turn off the display or scroll through different display options. Menu, of course, gives you the menu settings. So that's the basic overview of the camera. I really like the ergonomics. It has a really good grip here, so that you're not going to drop it. It has a little shelf that your fingers rest under, so that gives you a really positive grip. And overall, it just feels really good. It was very well thought out and has a lot of really great features. Like I said, the only glaring problem that I have with it is the lack of AA battery usage. So that's pretty much it for the overview and design look. So I'm going to get this set up, and we'll go through the actual menus and functions.